Mikel Arteta has been issued a warning coming in from one of the ex-Arsenal players about managing Bukayo Saka's playing time, because if he doesn't, then the most important period of the season, when Arsenal really need him to be up for selection, he won't be up for selection. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. This is the Football News Show, and we're here to talk about Ancelotti talking about Modric of Real Madrid and not getting him enough playing time, and the manager of Napoli breaking silence onto the situation of Victor Osimhen at Napoli. Let's see close to 400 likes in this video. Juma Karim or Juma Mubarak to the Muslim viewers and subscribers, and the Christians. May the Lord God bless you and obviously make you really get to all your endeavors, or reach to all your endeavors. Now, today is a Friday, and first video of the day, not so. I really took long to come in through because I wanted you guys to obviously go ahead and obviously watch the video that we really did yesterday at night concerning the scenario of the man himself, that is Arteta, and the team we expect him to really pick when Arsenal is obviously going to play the side of Bournemouth. That is tomorrow on Saturday, and I thought you guys have gone ahead and obviously enjoy it. I'm liking your comments and everything. You're gonna hate to put out this video, and it's high time obviously went in through to bring you this other video that is really exciting and enticing to you, the viewers of Rokani Media Football. Let's start it off with Bukayo Saka, and this is Bukayo Sylvester. Bukayo Sylvester was a player of Manchester United. He was crossing to Manchester City, but Sir Alex Ferguson got a call from Arsene Wenger, and Arsene Wenger told him, I would like to sign the player, and United sold him to Arsenal for £700,000 only. Remember, United never wanted their player to cross to Man City, and Arsene Wenger, because of being French and Mikel Sylvester being French, it was very easy for Arsenal to obviously convince him to join that club. Now, he has gone ahead and told us the following, that Saka is playing too much football. He plays in a position where he is sprinting a lot and is challenged a lot by the defenders. He has not been given enough rest. He needs to be given some rest if Arsenal wants him to be there in March or April, which is when the team will really be competing in the important games for the title and in the Champions League. But he might get tired at that time. We know how tough the schedule in England is, and he also plays with the international team as well. Then he continued and said, by the time he goes to the Euros, 2/3 of his energy will be gone. It's both physical and mentally. He needs to recharge the battery and recover to be on top every week. Now, I think he really has a very huge point, and I was the very first person to come in on this channel and through this, you know. After Bukayo Saka played just 10 minutes in the game of England versus Scotland, that saw England beat Scotland by 3-1, I was really vocal here, and I laid my statement straight that if they don't do the needful for Bukayo Saka and obviously rest him, he's obviously going to turn out as an injury prone player, you know. One of the people who reviews the channel in the comment section told me, Rokani, no, he has to be played. Now, do you know why Saka missed out on the game of Brentford? It's because he walked off the pitch after the 90th minute was blown. I think he was even substituted in the game of Tottenham Hotspur, and Emily Smith-Rowe came on through because his ankle was obviously paining and he was limping off the pitch. That's what Arteta told us in the pre-match press conference of Arsenal versus Brentford. That's why Arsenal win that game by 1-0. And I'm a very good fan of Manchester United. You know that very well. And I try to borrow some knowledge and obviously bring it to that side. Now, Antoine Martial was not an injury-prone player, but when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came in through, he played him for those 2 seasons when he's really injured, and that saw his body break down. If Arsenal don't manage Bukayo Saka very well, his body might break down. That is it. He might turn out to be an injury-prone player. I know a football player wants to be playing every game, and Saka will always tell Mikel Arteta that I want to play every game. but it's up to the manager to obviously manage the playing time of Bukayo Saka. That's why I've told you that Arsenal needs to obviously bring in a right attacking midfielder or a right forward with a left foot, and that should be one of their targets in the January transfer window, because if they don't do so, that means they are putting Bukayo Saka onto the cross, and his career might be damaged because of injuries. I don't know whether Sago Jr. is really ready to obviously come in through and deputize Bukayo Saka, but if at all he obviously breaks through into the first team of Arsenal like he did against Brentford, then that will be good news to all Arsenal fans all over the world, because this is what you need as a player at Arsenal to obviously get in players to compete with Bukayo Saka coming in from the academy, because that's a zero-cost player. You know, Sago is a very good player. He showed us his intensity. He's tailor-made for the Premier League, and if at all he makes it through to the team of Arsenal, then that will be music to our ears as we the fans of football, because their players don't want to lose, by the way. When you look at players like Bukayo Saka, you really want them to keep playing. You know, Emily Smith-Rowe, I'm one of the people who really feel bad for Emily Smith-Rowe being injured, because I know what he brings on the table. That is it. He's a very, very, very good player, and he does all what it takes to obviously fight back to return to full fitness, because these players are really exciting. But it goes back to how Mikel Arteta is going to have to manage these players when they are from injuries. When you look at Martinelli, I think his management has not been well. Arteta is going to have to rush him to play him very many games this season. You know, I think Martinelli would have gone ahead to be playing 30 minutes, 60, then you take him off. When he comes off the bench, he plays some 30. That's what would have gone ahead to make him a better player. But Arteta is trying to obviously put these players game in, game out, and they're going to strain their bodies and burn out. Mikel Sylvester has laid it out that if Arsenal don't really manage Bukayo Saka very well, by the time it clocks April and May, where Arsenal need Bukayo Saka to obviously lift up the team, it might not be good news for Arsenal. The player might not be available to obviously offer the services that Arsenal really need, and he's really right onto that. And I know you are going to agree with me that Arteta needs to manage the game time of this 22-year-old player very well, because he's still young and his body is still building up, but he has been playing football non-stop ever since I think he has been playing football non-stop ever since May of 2021. That's why I was going to have to put up a performance or a tally of close to 86 consecutive Premier League appearances ever since May 2021, meaning that last season he played each and every game. That is Bukayo Saka. He went ahead to play the games of 2021-2022 season, all the games of 2022-2023 season, and this time around, all the 6 games that Arsenal have gone ahead to play this season, Saka has been really on the line to obviously represent for the club of Arsenal. So it shows you exactly what they're really, or what Mikel Sylvester is hinging his point on, because it's really one of the experiences that he has gone through that a player will obviously get tired physically and mentally. And physically, you might be fit, but mentally, you might get affected by these constant performances. And we saw how Wayne Rooney really dropped off at Manchester United. He played a lot of football and was still young, and by the time he reached his early 30s, looked like Wayne Rooney was like a 40-year-old player. He couldn't put in the intensity, hence his early retirement. Yet his partners in prime like Ronaldo, whom he played with at Manchester United, is still playing until the age of 38, 39. So I think you now know exactly where we are basing our argument at, and most of you will obviously know why we are really taking it that side. Now, the Napoli coach, that is Gassi, has gone ahead and obviously broken silence onto the case of Victor Osimhen. Victor Osimhen was really mocked by the TikTok account of Napoli, and he comes in through to obviously take them to where they deserve to be. But he played very well I think they beat Udinese by 4-1. He also scored 1 goal. And the manager after that game had the following to say: "We are frustrated after the draw versus Bologna. Then some awkward things on social media didn't help us in the last 2 days. I spoke to Victor. It's key to have him focused on the game. He's gonna do his best for Napoli." Now, obviously, if you're a manager like Garcia, new at the job, you know who the main man at Napoli is. One will say Kavekeshela. I don't believe so. It's all about Victor Osimhen. Victor Osimhen has gone ahead to score some good goals for Napoli last season, and even this season he has gone ahead to obviously put in numbers that are really good for this side of Napoli. When you look at this season, Victor Osimhen has gone ahead to score 4 goals in 6 games in the Serie A. In the Champions League, he played 1 game, no 1 goal so far scored. So it shows you how important this player is for the side of Napoli, and the manager is trying to obviously do what we call damage control. For Victor Osimhen, he went to his social media platforms. I know he archived all photos of Napoli, and his agent came out and said that it's time to sue Napoli because they really went ahead to exceed the limit. But I know why this is happening. When you look at Victor Osimhen, his contract is expiring in 2024-2025. Now, they're just trying to use this as an avenue to obviously see themselves leave the club of Napoli. Last season, teams like PSG came up with 100 million euros, and Napoli said no. Chelsea came in through, their bid was rejected, and they really want to see to it that this player makes his big move next summer. And they are going to use this as an excuse for not obviously putting pen to the new contract that these two had gone ahead to really agree. But there was only one clause that had not been really tampered with, that really saw the two parties don't come to a common ground. And that was all about Victor Osimhen and his entourage calling in for a buyout clause. You know, if he's to sign a new contract with Napoli, he wanted what we call a buyout clause. Like, he put a fixed fee of 100 million euros to obviously buy the player. And they would have gone ahead to make some good profit because they bought him for 60 million euros from, is it Lille? There is a side in France that he was really playing for. Napoli signed him and has gone ahead to obviously play very well. But for Napoli, they want close to 150 million euros because they believe their player is worth that amount of money. So I don't know which team can obviously get them that money, but it really looks nasty for the two sides. And it looks like they now have an excuse, obviously, to lean on, to not put pen to paper, and maybe show Napoli that we now want out. If you don't really want us out, then if you don't let us out, then you're going to force a move because of what you guys have gone ahead to do. And I think they're going to get their move. Now, for Victor Osimhen, he's staying professional. He came to training sessions. He played in the midweek. He even scored a goal. He's keeping it calm. But at back of his mind, he's saying, this is what I wanted. Teams like Chelsea, Manchester United wanted me. Arsenal is interested in me, but you people don't want to let me go. So now I have a reason for you guys to let me go. And he'll be really putting them on pressure because he'll tell them that if you don't sell me the summer of 2024, I'm not going to put pen to paper, meaning that they are going to be in a vulnerable state as Napoli, and they have to sell the player as up. But teams like Spurs have gone ahead to set a precedent that they've gone ahead to sell a 30-year-old centre forward in the names of Harry Kane for £100 million, right? So that means even Napoli can go ahead and obviously sell Victor Osimhen for £120 million because they are teams that are going to be desperate for centre forwards next summer. Arsenal, Manchester United, Chelsea, name it, they're obviously going to be desperate for a centre forward next summer. Even Liverpool might go in for him because Mohamed Salah might move to the Arab world because of the money that they've gone ahead to promise him. So wait and see how that situation pans out. But the manager's gone ahead to do the damage control and covered up for the team and the player. Now, let's go to the circus in Madrid as Ancelotti, the manager, was asked on on Luka Modric not playing versus Las Palmas. He said, I did not talk to Luka Modric about that. The players understand when they have to rest and to rotate. Bellingham didn't play too. I try to manage the players as best as possible. Now, trust me, I've seen very many pundits giving Madrid a benefit of doubt to come in through and obviously thrive into the Champions League. But when you look at their squad, it's thin. It's thin. Madrid without Modric or Bellingham, Vinicius Jr., it looks weak. I saw them play Palmeiras and they went ahead to obviously win by 2-0, but they struggled a lot. Over the weekend, they even lost 3-2. Was it Atletico Bilbao that beat them up? So it shows you how thin their squad is and why they need to rest these players. And he knows how pivotal these players are. Ancelotti knows it that at Real Madrid, winning the Champions League is the most important bit of it all. And I think he's reserving these players to obviously coming through and play in the Champions League. And I think they are going to play. Is it Napoli? Let's check and see. Napoli. Champions League. Because in the Champions League, they're having Real Madrid. And we all know what Real Madrid is all about. And let's wait and see next midweek. What team are they going to play? Real Madrid. Where is Real Madrid? All right, Napoli is hosting Real Madrid, and now he's trying to charge his players, rest them, to see to it that they are to full pace and energy to face this side. So, guys, thank you very much for watching. To tell me your thoughts about Arteta warned on Bukayo Saka's poor management in the comment section below. Do you think Bukayo Saka is right or not? Then tell us what your thoughts are on the situation of Victor Osimhen and his entry versus Napoli and the manager. And lastly, what do you make about Luka Modric and Bellingham not being put up for selection as Madrid won by 2-0 in the midweek? Rokani David remains my name. Christians, I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. May the living to God bless you abundantly, and the Muslims, Barak, Laufikun, and Juma Mubarak.